Hola, hola, hola. We are back with another episode of The Exchange. Oh,
El intercambio.
we have missed you, El Intercambio, for the
So
Spanish
much.
learners or speakers. Yes, yes. And actually, Ramina and I were talking, and I think we found out that you guys might have missed us more. We were like, hey, it's been a while. Haven't had an episode. I don't know what our followers and our community is doing without watching their favorite hosts weekly. So we decided to come back to you. But all jokes aside, we did have a couple beefs with our streaming partner where we needed to work on some contractual disputes, and we're working on some exciting things to provide to you. So, more updates to come. Stay tuned to the end of the episode. We have a couple big updates to share. And as always, if you are learning a language, in particular English or Spanish, this is the place for you. We are part of the Bammbuu learning community where we want to practice languages in live conversation, meet some cool people, and have a cultural exchange. So, thank you for joining. We are excited to be back. We hope you are excited to be joining as well. And before we get started, now that we got the intro out of the way, Ramina, how are you doing? What's up there in Lima, Peru?
Yeah, I'm really happy to be back. Excited. I miss also like the episodes. And actually, I think I didn't tell you, but I've met like a couple of friends from the United States, and we've been hanging out like recently. So it's
Oh,
really
nice.
cool. Like I've been practicing my English and seeing like the use of slang in real life. It's really cool. It was almost like a listening test for an exam. So yeah, that's really good also to practice conversation, and that's something that we do a lot of Bammbuu. So yeah.
Very cool. You're probably like, what are these people saying? What part of the United States are they from?
They were from North Carolina, I think New York or another city close to New York.
Very cool. Are they moving to Lima for work or visiting, or how's that situation?
They are kind of traveling digital nomads, let's say, and other. They have like Peruvian family, but like they were born on the United States, so they come and go.
Nice, nice. For those who don't know, we did do an episode on digital nomad life. And if you want to learn how to be a digital nomad, either holla at Ramina because she's obviously friends with some, or listen to our episode and figure out some good tips and tricks and some phrases to say to help you get by in your chosen country. Very cool, though. I'm excited. I know we talked offline. You're gearing up for Holy Week, looking for a place to travel. So we have that coming up. We probably should do an episode on it, the differences in Easter and the Holy
Yes,
Week in our different
for
countries.
sure.
Maybe Spanish, since this one's an English one. But yeah, very cool, exciting. We are getting warmer here. There's a big festival in Austin called South by Southwest. Some of
Oh,
our listeners have probably heard of it, but it's a cool little like 2 week festival with education, culture, food, tech, business, a lot of cool free
cool.
stuff, a lot of overly expensive paid stuff that we probably won't be doing, but maybe, maybe next year we'll be able to host something at South by and do a little bamboo pop up for the people. But yeah, I'll probably join some of that stuff in the next week or so, and I'll be sure to report back. But
Yeah.
other than that, we are excited. Ramina, we have a very exciting topic for us, our people today, and we wanted to discuss the cultural differences in business communication between the United States and some parts of Latin America, and Peru for
Yes.
this example. Now, when you hear business communication, that's not always the most fun topic, but it is essential. A lot of people obviously work remotely for U.S. companies
Yes.
or have their own office culture that it's important to be integrated with. And so that's what we wanted to bring you today. So, to start, I would say there is a term that we use in business English that contrasts a little bit with perhaps what you use in Spanish in Peru or other parts, and that is the term end of day. And so when we posted about promoting this episode, I did a little promotional question for our community. And the question was, we'll put it in the chat actually, let me pull it up. The question was, what does end of day really mean? Um, and obviously, there's some subjectivity there, or it doesn't mean the same for every person. But let me just get the chat posted for you, and I'll put it there so our community can answer. Um, and It is here. Question is, Ahorita can mean 5 minutes or 5 days in certain
Yes, yes.
situations, but in the US, which one of these actually means by the end of the day? Request one, EOD, two, ASAP, three, COB, and four, when you have a chance. If you need to look at it, take a look at the chat and let us know. But Romina, can you share a little bit more about what Ahorita means and also how it would be used in certain situations in the business setting?
Mhm. Well, ahora, ahorita means like literally now, but in Latam, it kind of, we use it for a lot of things. We said like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that like right now. Voy a hacer esto ahorita. But that doesn't mean it's going to happen like right now. It could be, like you said, either, I don't know, I'm gonna send you in an hour, I'm gonna start working on it, like, or have it by end of the day. So, or even this is like in business situation, but if we are talking like casual or with your friends and you're like, yeah, I'm going out right now, like ahorita, it's always a lie. They are not going out. They are not going out.
I'll see you in
Yeah,
5 minutes, but they
it's
ain't
never
showing up in
five
five
minutes.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the friends that I've met, one of them is also from Latam,
Mhm.
and we hang out like a couple of days ago, and I waited for him like almost 2 hours, and he was like,
Oh,
I'm like, I'm outside," and I'm like, "You are not, you are a
oh,
liar."
2 hours. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So we have that too to some extent, obviously, like in different cultures.
Yeah.
Uh, chat, don't get me on this, but there's like black people time or or color people time, Latino time, things like that in the US. And like with certain friends, you just know like, hey, I'm on my way. It means they're probably gonna leave in like 30 minutes. But 2 hours
Exactly.
is crazy. I never experienced that. I probably would have left if I were you. Is that traditional? Like where to be like, hey, I'm leaving Ahorita, for example, and they don't show up for
No,
3 hours?
it actually, I would say like half an hour is like 50 minutes, half an hour, it's like normal that you will wait. That was like kind of weird. But I was like with another people, so I waited, but it was also like a little bit weird. And
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
but it bothered me a little bit because it was a long time.
I understand. It's a little bit different if you're with other people, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I think I have seen something similar where it's like, hey, I got you wish probably get a text though, like, hey, something came up, I'm a little running behind.
Yeah, of course. You
But
have to let them know.
exactly, and that's also good
Mhm.
for a business standpoint. But yeah, we would say that. And if it's like a one-on-one, like you're just meeting a friend for a drink or like whatever, a date or something, 2 hours is nuts. I'm glad you were with some people there to make it a little bit easier. If we're
Yeah.
looking at like translation from Spanish to English, we'd probably say like in a business setting, you said ahorita, you'd probably say like, okay, I'll get to that. And that's kind of ambiguous. So you'll get to it in the future, but there's no deadline. And if you were speaking as a native Spanish speaker in English, I think it's probably good for something that is of high um, importance or the boss wants it done at a certain timeline for you to give that timeline. So I will get to that by end of day, or I'll get to that by next week, or I will have it done by, right? These are future tense, looking like things like future perfect, where you look back as if something's already been completed. But you want to give the deadline just because there is some ambiguity. And I think the
Yeah.
first thing is you have to recognize that there is cultural ambiguity, and so, understanding that up front, if you're a Spanish speaker and learning English or vice versa, it's always good to kind of over communicate deadlines and understand it. With that being said, socially, it's a little bit less important. But um, when you do that for yourself, how, as you navigate the business landscape, working remote with English speakers or Spanish speakers, how do you navigate the use of Ahorita, or do you just basically speak directly in English or Spanish with a specific deadline?
Yeah, I talk with them in English and specify a deadline, especially when you have like multiple clients and you have multiple projects with different timelines. You have to be very like specific and be like, oh, I'm gonna have this report by, I don't know, Tuesday. I'm gonna have it by end of day. And now with like all these project management tools that you can tag like people and be like, oh, I'm gonna have by Monday, and it's also like good, and then you can follow up through the week with like some information and then have it done by that day.
Yeah, yeah, having some updates is good to continue with communication.
Mhm.
Which project management tools do you use? I know some people like Asana, or
Yeah.
I think ClickUp is one I saw one of our tutors
Mhm.
using as well, which I haven't used, but I know that people like it. Do you have a preference for how to stay organized, or is it just like an Excel sheet? Give us some tips and tricks.
Yeah, yeah. I think I've used like all of them. Truly, I've used like Trello, Asana, Monday, ClickUp, Notion. But my favorite one, and the one that I use also for like personal life, is Notion. I really like it.
Oh, cool, cool. What do you
Yeah.
like about Notion? I know that you can do like different sheets and
Mhm.
documents. Obviously, you can have resources through it, but what do you personally like about it?
I like that you can see the information in like different formats, like more like a kind of tablet. Let's say like kind of more like Asana. You can see
Hmm.
like a chronogram, and so I like the different views on Notion. And yeah, it's the one that I've used it like the longest, so I'm more used to it, and I really like it.
Yeah, I saw they integrated some AI features, which I'm sure probably
Mm,
everybody is now. But I used it. They have
yes.
at some jobs in the past. I thought it was pretty useful. You know, we're big Google Drive fans, and I think our previous guest, Alana, shout out to the Zoomers. She likes Monday.com, and I think HubSpot too. So everyone has aspects of it. To Ramita's point, the key thing is level set. What we'll say in English, I'd like to have like an English idiom. Make sure that you understand what the timeline is, and then
Mhm.
ultimately, communicate to make sure if that's changed. So you don't want to, for example, have your boss waiting on Friday for 4 hours, like Ramina's friend.
Yeah,
You might not have a job on Monday, so don't do that.
for sure.
Um, that's interesting, interesting stuff. Also, I noticed when working with some of our community and students, there's a cultural shift between the collective we, meaning like we completed this as a group project, versus I. And oftentimes in
Mhm.
interviews and also in projects, you want to accurately account for your work. And so in English, we use words like the English power verbs like spearheaded, or I leveraged my skills in Monday.com to stay organized for this particular project. And so I think being able to use some of those words would definitely help you level up your fluency, either in an interview or in a business standpoint. But Ramina, do you use any like um, domain specific words, we call it? So like marketing specific or professional words that help you translate from Spanish to English well and interact with your clients and partners?
Actually, what you said makes a lot of sense. I think here in Latam, we have like a problem with taking accountability for our job, for our responsibilities, and we usually say like, "Oh, we did this, we work on this project," and
Hmm.
it should be like, "No, like I let the project by," like you said, using those kind of verbs. So I
Hmm.
think it's a good tip for all the people that are listening. Like we have to
Hmm.
keep using these verbs to like really own like the job that we did.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And it's something I just need to work with our community in interviews and working with clients. If you're interested, shoot us a DM in IG. We'll give you a free study guide with the English power verbs and business idioms. I just think we could provide some free value to you. And it seems to work. So we've given some good feedback there. Um, I think that the US culture in particular is kind of selfish when it comes to that. So like I think in Latin America it's like community driven. We talked about
Yeah.
before, right? Friendship and things. And the US, especially in the corporate setting, gets kind of individualistic, and some of that bleeds over into our language. And so it is what it is. There are differences, but if you want to speak that language to connect with that client or community, make sure that you're on the same page. Another idiom for
Yeah.
you. Perhaps that's a metaphor. I'm not sure. The point is, we're not actually reading a book. We're on the same page in the interview process with
Yeah.
communication. So make sure you do that. Something to consider. And for those English speakers, think about potential cultural shift in reverse, right? You want to communicate with whatever culture that you're either interviewing or partnering with, especially with the world being more globalized, international. Think about some particular questions that you could ask to really understand what the person you're partnering with is trying to say. For example, when they say we did a project, okay, what was your specific role in that project,
Responsible.
right? And so it's not necessarily seen as disrespectful or aggressive. We just really want to understand what people were doing and how they might be able to partner with us. So all that I think is very important. Obviously, working on your communication skills and having that cultural nuance is good for the relationship building and the small talk that we have in the U.S. to get things started. But yeah, I think those are all things that I would recommend, things that we've seen be successful. And you're talking to two practitioners. Ramin and I often work across borders and partner with people from different cultures. So I think what we're telling you is something that you could use for your own benefit. Ramina, that's a lot of me talking. What do you got for us? Anything you want to share with the community relative to this topic?
No, yes, I agree. I think for a lot of people in Latam that maybe want to apply to remote jobs, but they perhaps know English, know how to speak, but they don't know how to really sell themselves or use
Hmm.
like the proper business language, or I don't know, they get like nervous on interviews. So yeah, I think that's why we created like this new program, this new English interview accelerator program, specifically targeted to for them to like really get the job and be able to speak fluently and also sell themselves on like all the accomplishment that they have done through like their career.
100%, and you beat me to it. But yes, that is why we created the accelerator program, with working with several of our community and students, community members and students. A lot of them were connecting with us to learn a language to then use it for other opportunities, right? In particular, job interviews. And so we saw a need where there were several talented individuals, but they might not have understood the particulars of the interview process, how to prepare, and also the business English that would make you successful or sell yourself, like Ramina said. So people aren't failing because they're not technical and or not able to do the job. They just don't necessarily understand the rules or the communication practice associated with selling yourself and connecting with the future employers. So we wanted to provide a solution for that, and we have certified language instructors and HR and recruiting experts who've combined to come together with some excellent curriculum and coursework, live instruction, and on demand resources. You can have a video library of 12 to 15 modules of interview preparation, from selling yourself to cultural exchange, learning how to represent your work using the STAR method, and also negotiations and small talk and elevator pitches. So all of that is included, mixed with great expert feedback and cultural exchange like this conversation right here. So we think you really enjoy and get a lot of value out of it. So that was one exciting update. We have two more, or one more rather, for two total. If you're interested in that, we have the link in the description of this video. Let us know. We have free consultations, but we think you'll enjoy it. Second, we still owe you guys a free
Yeah.
subscription for passing 1,400 followers. We are growing every single week, and now that we're back with this video, we're going to grow even more. And so we want to give you a free subscription. Maybe we'll do others, but for now, we owe it to our community for helping us grow. So Romina is really interested and has done a great job with our Instagram profiles. So we think the best way to do it would be for you to DM us on Instagram. We'll send you the instructions on how to claim your free prize. First person wins. So first person to not only DM but follow the instructions to claim the prize wins. We'll put the Instagram in as a pinned comment in this particular episode as well. And hopefully you can claim it and win your free month of unlimited language classes and connecting with cool people like me, Romina, and many more. Romina, did I miss anything? I know we had two things to share. Did I miss anything else?
Mhm.
Anything I forgot within those two?
No, I think you said all about those new exciting updates that we have, like the program and then like the free guide that we were missing. So yeah, I'm really excited to see who's gonna win.
Yeah, we should. If you're interested, if they want to, we can highlight them on this episode, or maybe
Yeah.
share like a welcome video to see what they think and get their feedback on the unlimited subscription. But it's free learning, it's great value. Come take a look and hang out with us. We did promise an answer. Take a look at the chat. The answer for the question of the day is number one, EOD, end of day. That essentially means end of working day. Some people work past, the 5, 6 p.m. mark. So anyway, whatever you decide with your boss or partner, whatever end of day means, make sure you send that over by end of day. There is no, I'll get to it. Like I said, you might not have a job the next day. And so take a look there. That's the answer to our trivia question. We really, let's get to 2,500. Shout out to AB. We really appreciate everybody joining, Romina, for our Spanish speaking audience and our friends in Turkey, because they love to follow our Spanish content as well. What do you have to say for the folks before we get out of here in Spanish?
Sí, síganos en Instagram, aprovechen este sorteo que estamos teniendo, así que sean los primeros en seguirnos y en mandarnos un DM para que se puedan ganar este mes gratis de aprendizaje, para que practiquen la conversación. Y sí, siempre es una buena época para buscar un trabajo remoto, para ganar más dinero, tener mejores oportunidades, y justo este programa está diseñado y pensado para ustedes, así que tienen el link ahí en nuestra bio y pueden hacer una consulta gratuita para medir cuál es su nivel de inglés y ver cuál es la fluencia que necesitan para poder postular este tipo de trabajos.
100%. And for our non-native speakers, we use several of our past topics in other episodes. So we use the subjunctive, para que practiques, I think she said, así que, which is a cohesive device to combine two thoughts, and also future tense on it, if you could, in fact, learn new skills for your upcoming job. So that's another reminder and a little selling point. Go back and listen to our old episodes if you want to understand what Romina was talking about. And overall, recap, we like to provide value through natural conversation. So if you are studying for an interview or working currently in an international setting, make sure that you level set and use probably, I would say, precise language to understand what timelines actually mean across different language barriers. Make sure that you understand the cultural standpoint from the other partner or employee to understand that it might just be a little bit different than yours, but we just got to make sure we have the same understanding. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll have in the comments how you can claim your free prize, like Romina said. Come follow us on IG, even if you don't get your free prize. And the answer to the question that I posed at the beginning, trivia question, is in the chat. 2,500. AB said it best. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks again for joining. We're glad to be back.
Yes. Thank you. Bye. See you on the next episode.
Next episode. See you guys.